What's one more tip that we can close out and help someone create some sort of a peaceful divorce?
Well, this is kind of not exactly directly connected to the. Well, I guess it is. At some point down the line, you're gonna need to create some, individuality.
Yes, that is important.
Yeah, because you're going from being a couple to not being a couple anymore, and in some cases, you're gonna have children that you're gonna share, and so the co-parenting, deciding how you're gonna move forward with the children. You're gonna co-parent, or you're going to parallel parent. Make some decisions about that, right? And then becoming an individual means sort of like cutting the ties from your spouse and stop depending on them emotionally, financially, in every which way.
You gotta be your own person.
You gotta stand up and stand up on your own 2 feet and be your own person. Yeah, exactly. And that a lot of the times just means you have to reach out to your friends and become. This is a different kind of support group, right? And you have to be really careful about who you invite into your support group, because in a divorce situation, people like to, well-meaning people, mind you, they want to help you. They're your friend, they love you, and they want you to be, but a lot of the times they bring in
their own perceptions,
their own stuff,
yeah,
and fuel.
Yeah, it's true.
Fuel fire instead of what he wants you to do. What? And, and before you know it, you have this
entangled in it.
Yes, they get. Yes, and they're like I said, but it could be parents. It could be parents, grandparents, aunts, cousins. It could be family too. And so you have to be able to separate in your mind and be able to hear when somebody, when somebody is fueling and when somebody's really supporting you.
You have to be able to distill down. Okay, so I can take X, Y, and Z from what they're telling me and say, yes, I need to go out more and see my friends, but I don't need to be A, B, and C and still entangled up in the drama. You can choose to disengage from the drama that person is bringing with their advice.
Right, with their advice, yeah. Because a lot of the times the advice, you have to kind of stay grounded on what and hopefully if you've done things well and right from the beginning, and you maybe have this coach that's telling you, that's keeping you kind of, you have to have a base, right? What is the most important thing in this divorce? Where is my ground? Where is the ground that I'm going to base all my decisions upon?
Right.
Could be the children. I want what's best for the children. My children are never going to have to, deal with more than they have to deal with.
Right.
If that's your base, then every decision that you make supports that base. What's most important to me throughout this entire divorce, throughout this entire experience, is for my kids to come out,
relatively
empowered, whole, as best as possible, considering that there's still going to be issues, but if that's your base, then you start to make your decisions will be different than the ones that you make when you're not thinking.
And I think that to tie in with all of that stuff and knowing, once you get to know who you are and what you need for you and your child, you might start shedding people. Because the more, I think that's something that people don't realize, is that not only do you release your ex and a lot of the other stuff from that divorce, but as you start and shift and change into who you're supposed to be more authentically then people are not going to be able to relate to where you are now. So you might start shedding friends, and you might start shedding family members, or your family, you and your parents might have some disagreements because you're not that person who you were when they married, where they could kind of always put all of this stuff because you were a sponge looking for guidance. Now you're like, you know what, I got my own internal compass, I'm good.
Right.
You know,
right.
and it's going to be an adjustment for other people as you become more solid in yourself. And I think that's something that people don't realize until they're in going, why isn't this person talking to me? Why am I fighting all the time with my parents? Why am I fighting with my sister? Like, they should be happy for me because I'm getting strong and standing on my own. But you changing also changes your dynamic with everybody else.
It does.
And I think that's something that nobody really thinks about as they start to reclaim their life.
That's right. That's right. And at some point, I mean, it's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey, and you learn.
Oh yeah, big
Things
time.
every day, and you know, and you make mistakes also, and you know, it takes a lot. But the end goal here is for you to become empowered, to become whole, to come out of this. Know that you can come out of this, you know, standing with head up high, and it's going to be okay. It's going to be, over time, it'll be okay. You know, you'll become more of who you are, you know, because within the marriage you were one person. You were this person's wife, and you know, and now you're going to have to rediscover.
You have to self-identify as a new person.
Yeah, who am I? What do I like? What do I not like?
Yeah.
You know, you're going to have to redefine.
Yeah.
And you're also going to have to redefine your relationship with your ex.
Yeah. And that's also another thing, because
What
you're not that
is that
same
gonna look
person
like?
that he was married to, or
Exactly.
she was married to. So they're engaging with you because they know who that person was that they were married to, but you're 5 years beyond that. You're not that person anymore.
No.
I don't know how to deal with you.
Yes.
You used to be pushed by this button, and this button, and now you're not being pushed by that, and I don't know what to do. So now they're combating you because the more you're shifting and changing, they don't know how to engage with you anymore because the normal modes of communication are not working.
Exactly. And so you have to learn a whole new set of
Rules of engagement.
Rules of engagement. That's right. That's exactly right. You have to learn some of those, because you know your talks will be different if you talk, or you may decide that no, we don't have that kind of a relationship. I mean, you have to redefine the relationship, literally.
Yeah.
You know, what is this going to look like? What are you know, how are we going to continue to parent these children, and what is that going to look like?
And you do such a good job at that. Thank you so much for coming and spending the morning with me. It's
Thank
been
you
so
for having
delightful,
me.
as
Hopefully-
always.
Yeah, hopefully.
You'll have to come back on again.
Okay.
We'll have another tea and
Yes.
chat.
There's always so much to talk about when it comes to this stuff.
I know. So if you want to connect with Belki, can you tell them how to connect with you? So if they want to find you and get your services to help
it's
them.
Utah Divorce Solutions, and my number is 801-692-3554. I work from home, so that's how you can reach me, or by email, Belki at belkitolman.com. Yes.
And she's one of my regular facilitators here
And
at
I'm
the
here,
Divorcee Cafe
yes.
on the first Wednesday of the month in Salt Lake City at 645 East 700 South at the 7th and 7th Street Studio. So if you need help or assistance and you want to come in and connect with someone at the Divorcee Cafe, if you're local, and if you're not local, then just, you know, send us an email, and we'd be happy to set some time up for you virtually. Thanks so much for joining. We'll see you again soon.